Welcome into Red Bull Arena. Some Sunday evening football tonight in the NWSL. This Gotham FC playing host to Angel City FC. I'm Josh Eastern, glad to be joined by Casey Whitfield this evening. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups as both teams preparing to take to the field tonight. We will start, of course, with the home side and Gotham, very similar to what we've seen recently with this Gotham side.
Yeah, they're looking to sit Allie Krieger a little higher up into that 6 to be a leader higher up the field. They're also going to have Krieger and Zerboni kind of be more of a block in front of that back line to stop the attack from Angel City.
So that is what Gotham looks like today. As for the other side and Angel City, they're coming all the way to the East Coast. A big opportunity for this for this Angel City side today as they look to continue that push towards the playoffs. And they put out a very similar lineup as to what we've seen recently with what we think is going to be a diamond in the midfield.
Yeah, I think they're going to have McCaskill maybe sit in more of an attacking mid position, give her a little more free reign to roam in that space. That diamond's going to pair up really nicely, though, with Gotham's formation. You're going to look to see Charlie and Emsley really apply a lot of pressure on that back line, sit higher on those two center backs and see if they can occupy that space. It's going to open up a lot more space for McCaskill to play off of those two.
Of course, Didi Hadicic in goal, making her return to Gotham, where she did spend 3 seasons, including that run to the Challenge Cup final last year. Of course, Freya Coombe also back here at Red Bull Arena for the first time since taking the job at Angel City. There's McCall Zerboni, recently 175 appearances in the NWSL for her. And our referee this evening is Brandon Stevis. A warm afternoon, temperatures in the low 80 degrees Fahrenheit.
It's a perfect evening to play some soccer tonight. It's going to be a fun matchup between these two. You've got Gotham that's trying to prove something. They haven't had the best spell of results recently, and Angel City fighting for that playoff spot. So a big game for both teams.
And there is the whistle, and away we go. 90 minutes ahead of us here from Red Bull Arena in Harrison, New Jersey. Glad you can be with us. So speaking to that form for Gotham, it has been tough. 6 straight losses. They've been outscored 19-5 in those games. They've conceded multiple goals in all 6 of those games as well. So it really starts defensively with this team, and they're just hoping that they can put up a clean sheet, try to go from there, because when they do put up a clean sheet, they've had success. No draws, all those being wins.
Right. Their main goal today is not to concede a goal, because when they concede, they lose. And so their focus is really going to be having a solid defensive shape, making sure that back line is a brick wall, and it's really going to help having Zerboni and Krieger sitting right in front of them, seeing if they can kind of shield the balls that Angel City's trying to find Charlie and Emsley with.
The last time out for Gotham, a 2-1 loss against Orlando. That game was technically a home game, but took place at Subaru Park in Philadelphia. And here's Krieger on the ball, moving it out wide for Taylor Smith. Smith still coming forward, trying to use that pace, slowed down. So quick on the ball is Smith, now getting all the way to the end line, trying to cut this across. Anamanu crashing in, but it's cleared away out for a Gotham throw-in.
I really like this run from Smith, though. She picks up the ball in the middle of the field and just attacks on the dribble. So often defenders hate when forwards pick up the ball and run at them because they're kind of frantic. They're not in their comfort zone. So Smith, right away, coming at that back line.
It does look like Smith starting in a bit of a deeper role. We thought that might be Naomi Kawasumi. She looks like she's playing up front, so we'll keep an eye on that. Here is Smith once again. Calls Zerboni. Switches the point of attack. There's Amani Dorsey. Now it's Kawasumi, who just lost that out of play. Well, as for Angel City, last time out against the Kansas City Current, a 1-1 draw where Freya Coombe said the team just was not at their best. That they were fortunate to get a point out of that and prevent Kansas City from earning 3. Her team did not have enough of the ball, lacked a bit of creativity. And this is a Angel City team that has not really scored a ton of goals, but they were creating a bunch of chances early on in this season, and now just trying to get things on track in terms of goal scoring. As just one goal last game, they look to build on that.
Well, they're a team that hasn't scored a lot of goals, but they also don't give up a lot of goals. And so they're looking to see if they can pick up a few points where they've dropped points early on. They only have a few games left to do so to make the playoffs.
Zerboni shot blocked down. Another chance coming. This one also blocked down from Dorsey. Now moved out wide for Smith. Smith trying to cut this back across, bouncing through and cleared away.
It's a good ball in by Smith, but she plays it in between her two players inside the box there. She almost needed to pick one to be more of a target inside that 18.
In transition, here's Simone Charlie. Moved out wide, Emsley chasing after it. Scottish international is on it. Emsley, a little bit too far, ran out of room. It's out for a goal kick. Good back and forth nature to start, though.
Very exciting game so far. Like I said, both teams have a lot to prove in this match, and so it's created a really fun start to this match. It makes me think, though, how long is it going to be until these teams kind of settle in a little bit, because there's no way it can keep this pace for a full 90 minutes.
Angel City coming into this game 4 points below the playoff line. That is before Kansas City's game against North Carolina tonight. And Angel City will get that game in hand back once it kicks off at 7 o'clock. That'll be right here on Twitch. It is 7 o'clock Eastern time. The next game is on the schedule for tonight. As this rolls into the corner, Kawasumi, the cross coming in. Purse was there to attack it, didn't quite get there. And Angel City able to clear their lines.
A solid attack, though, for Gotham there. It starts with a beautiful through ball. They do a great job to get that cross, and just a little bit high on the cross, so not able to execute on it, but Gotham showing some really solid attacks so far in this match.
Talk about a team, we mentioned just the 5 goals they've scored over a 6-game losing skid. Here's Weatherholt. Emsley couldn't get there again. This will run out of room and out for another goal kick.
Purse doing a good job tracking back there on Weatherholt and bodying her up, forcing her to overplay that ball ever so slightly into Emsley.
Michelle Betos getting another start today in goal for Gotham, as Ashlyn Harris remains out of the lineup. This is played ahead for Anamanu. Anamanu running right at Nielsen, getting in behind Nielsen. It's Iffy Anamanu, and it's pushed aside. Former teammate denying her, Didi Hadicic. It's a corner kick coming for Gotham.
Excellent move there from Anamanu. She picks the ball up on the dribble and gets a little bit fortunate here with this touch, but does a good job to get her head up. Doesn't have the best angle, so it's really going to be really tough to score from that angle, but she earns a corner kick for her team, a very good opportunity.
It's expected that Anamanu will be called up in the upcoming international window next week for Nigeria. There are 2 friendlies against the United States. Speaking of that, Christy Mewis standing over the ball. She was called in alongside teammate Midge Purse. And setting this corner in. Not too far for Estelle Johnson. Zerboni. Through the legs. Purse lets it run through. Cuts it back. Zerboni's cross is headed away. Lucy in there. Another opportunity here for Midge Purse. Johnson, again headed clear. This is good early pressure from Gotham.
Gotham doing a good job of getting the opportunities there. Now it just has to be a little bit sharper on that cross. A few times they've been overplayed, the others have been underplayed. So they just need to do a better job of maybe getting their head up, picking out exactly who they want to play the ball to inside the box, and seeing if they can see a little bit more success with that.
This is the fourth game in charge now for Hugh Menzies at the helm of Gotham since stepping in for Scott Parkinson. That was ahead of the OL Reign game on the road a couple of weeks ago. He came in, that game was on a Sunday, he came in on a Saturday, met the team in Seattle. They then traveled to Houston, and then on a short week traveled to Philadelphia to play that quote-unquote home game, neutral site you can say, against Orlando. But this is the first week that he's been able to have a full week of training without any travel, and his first home game now here at Red Bull Arena. So you sense maybe some comfort. It's because they've had some time to train.
They've had a little bit of time to train, and they're home, and it's tough when you have a new face come in. They're trying to incorporate some new tactics, new styles, because what you were doing wasn't working. So trying to incorporate some changes, and it's nice when you can have a full week to prepare. You can scout out your opponent and really begin to implement that new vision for your team.
Here's Mewis. Again, it's met by Krieger, not quite cleared. Freeman is in there, but commits the foul. This is great early pressure from Gotham, and Angel City been under the cosh here early on.
Angel City a little caught off guard, I think, by this start from Gotham. That was a much better corner kick played in by Christy Mewis. I don't think Allie Krieger made the right contact on the ball. She makes a good run towards the penalty spot, but just kind of gets over top of the ball a bit too much.
A couple corner kicks here for Gotham, and Angel City just trying to get some time on the ball. A few chances in transition. It's too far out in front of Junendo.
Angel City just needs to settle into this match. They need to see if they can put together a few passes, maybe get a little bit more possession of the ball to calm their nerves, settle into this one, and then begin to build forward.
Megan Reed finding Tyler Lucy. And now McCaskill able to look upfield and play this up over the top. There's Smith getting back for her defensive responsibilities, was just clipped there by Simone Charlie. Free kick back to Gotham.
Smith doing a good job to win the positioning there in that spot. She feels the contact and very smart goes down with it, because you're going to get the call every single time. It's always going to be coming out. Charlie didn't put a whole lot of contact there. It wasn't a huge push, but Smith, being a very smart player, recognizing that and earning her team the free kick, and it allows them to also set up their shape and build out of the back.
And here's Smith racing forward again. Played over the top, looking for the run of Midge Purse. Second ball picked up by Krieger, did enough to move it out wide and keep it. Here's Smith again. Diagonal run there, Midge Purse. Anamanu's in the middle, just touches it infield. Anamanu's shot, looping off the post. Did that go in? What's the decision going to be? He's saying corner kick.
Very interested to kind of see a replay of this one. It's a good ball through by Smith, and Purse does a good job making that run. I don't know when the ball goes out. My only thought is maybe Midge Purse was offsides, but yeah, that ball does bounce across the line. There's no goal line technology, and there's no VAR this year. So interested to see what the final decision is here, because that's
a goal.
One heck of a shot.
But I'm not sure how you get corner kick out of that.
I am not sure either. I think the referees need to have a little bit of a discussion, because the ball never went over the inline for a corner kick. The only time it crossed the line was inside the goal.
All right, well, oh, it's off the post! And then another opportunity for Zerboni. What a sequence. A couple of times off the woodwork now for Gotham.
Angel City going to be thanking their post for this one.
We were talking about before the game, Racing Louisville and Gotham from way early on in the season, where Gotham hit the post, what was it, 8 times? I think that was a record. And they're getting to know their woodwork again here today.
It's like their worst enemy so far this season has been the woodwork for them. I think Angel City a little bit fortunate to be level still at this one right now.
Purse was in an offside position. This will just trickle into the corner.
A smart decision, though, by Purse to let that one go, because if she doesn't, then the referee is definitely going to raise the flag and she will be offsides. But instead, she forces the ball to stay in play, forces them to have to run back and maybe play an uncomfortable pass that they wouldn't want to, instead of setting up a set piece.
Definitely an early talking point in this one. Looked like Ife Anamanu had scored the opening goal. Instead, Gotham will try to come forward again. That pass off the mark, looking for Purse.
Just not really on the same page there. Purse was wanting it at her feet. They were looking to play the ball through. Just need to have a little bit more communication, maybe read the body language of the teammates to understand where your teammate wants the ball.
Matos will collect and reset here for Gotham. This has been one of the best 15-minute stretches under Hugh Menzies so far. I think that's a stretch to say.
Well, it helps being at home, being in front of your home fans, having the comfort of training all week at home, not having to focus on travel or any of that. That gives a certain comfort level. And so I think Gotham is really able to step out of their shell a bit in training, really dive into what Hugh Menzies wants to do with this team for the remainder of the season.
When he came in, he said this is a 6 to 8 week project, just trying to bring a winning mentality. He said early on it was a lot of film and individual meetings. They couldn't necessarily get out and train because of all the travel and the short turnaround in between games. Now an opportunity for this team to be at home for the first time in quite a while. They'll have a good stretch of home games upcoming as well. As Endo slides it out wide for McCaskill. Her cross is headed away by Freeman, right back to McCaskill. Right through the legs of Zerboni. Savannah McCaskill scores! Whoa! McCaskill nutmeg! McCaskill goal! 1-0 Angel City!
What a cheeky play there from Savannah McCaskill, showing why she is the leading scorer right now on Angel City. And this one comes completely against the run of play, because the whole first part of this first half has been Gotham, but she does such a good job of staying composed here on the ball. She recognizes that she's got the Meg here and just does it flawlessly. And this is a really tough angle for her to score from, but she completely rips the ball high to the near post. Betos doesn't stand a chance at saving that. An excellent finish from Savannah McCaskill.
Precision and power there on the shot from McCaskill. And for Savannah McCaskill, her 6th goal on the season. She had just 2 last year over 23 appearances with Racing Louisville. So a career year so far this year for Savannah McCaskill, and finally seems like she's comfortable in this position. Taylor Smith trying to come back the other way, taken off the ball by June Endo.
We talked about how we didn't know if Smith was going to be up front or defensively, and I think putting her in this outside back role was a very intentional decision, because she's been getting up and down that sideline, and it's forcing Endo to have to track her back, exposing that side and making numbers up situation for Gotham on that right side.
Another good opportunity, but Dorsey overhitting the cross once again.
For Gotham, it's how do you respond to this? Statistically, you haven't done too well when going down, and so Gotham needs to make sure that they keep a strong mindset, continue to push forward. They've done really well in this game. There was just one moment of lapse, and that's where Angel City was able to capitalize. So they have to see, how do they move forward, and can they continue to push forward?
What a start to this game. First shot of the game for Angel City finds the back of the net. It's been 5 shots so far for Gotham. One we thought went past the line. Referee said no. I'm sure that'll be a talking point this week if Gotham comes up on the short end. And we mentioned when they don't score that first goal, things do not go well. 0-10 this year when conceding the first goal. It's the most games conceding first for any team in the NWSL, and that shouldn't come as, I guess, too much of a surprise just based on how this team has been playing as of late.
It's not really the stat that you want to have, and I think they have a golden opportunity here to change that, because they have started better. They have had the better chances. Honestly, I think they were robbed of a goal, and so they need to see if they can continue to create those chances and get in behind the back line.
All the way back to Hadicic, who gets this away. I'm sure Didi Hadicic alongside manager Freya Kuhn would want nothing more than to come back to Gotham and take all 3 points. To the M line, again, not long enough the field. Be a goal kick. But Hugh Menzies also talked about, he said, Angel City probably thinks they can come in here and take 3 points. We've been on a bad run of form, but so far in these opening 20 minutes, it has not been easy for Angel City, and I think any team coming into this position, if you're Angel City, would probably think the same thing, but it's not been easy.
Absolutely, because Gotham's got something to prove. They are in front of their home fans. They haven't been in a while. They've got a new interim manager in charge. They have something to prove this evening, and so they are all guns a-blazing today, and so Angel City has a tough task ahead of them to be able to get ahead of them. They haven't seen much of the ball. They've had one solid chance, and they were able to capitalize on it. So Gotham just has to figure out how they can keep the energy on their side and really eliminate the opportunities for Angel City.
Here's Simone Charlie into side netting. Looks like it will be a corner kick after some thought from the AR and the center referee, Brandon Stevis.
Good ball through here, and Charlie does a good job to keep the ball on the right side of her body, which makes it really difficult for the defender to come across. Not sure if there was contact there, but the referee had the better angle of it.
So a corner kick upcoming. June Endo will serve. The way to the backside. The header comes towards goal. Like Betos would have been able to collect that, but Freeman was taking no chances. Smith rushes in and puts it out for a throw-in.
A good lofting ball, looking for Weatherholt there on the back post. Either Weatherholt's going to look to get that one on frame or maybe head it back across the goal face.
I saw Taylor Smith, Danny Weatherholt sharing a laugh there. Former teammates at OL Reign, where Smith spent 2019 and 2020. As for Weatherholt, he was there from 2016 to 2019, so overlapping that final year.
City is going to look to slow this game down because it's going to deflate the energy of Gotham. They recognize that the momentum is not on their side, so by slowing the game down, they're taking Gotham out of their rhythm and seeing if then they can shift it towards their play.
And you wonder if you're Gotham, you had all those chances, you thought you had a goal, if that maybe deflates yourselves and maybe some of that confidence that they came out with in this opening few minutes.
Definitely going to be a little bit deflating, and so that's when it's going to come to leaders like Ali Krieger, like Mewis out there, being leaders, being vocal, lifting this team up, because it is tough when you are controlling the game. You have the better chances, then all of a sudden you're down 1-0 early on.
That ball just too far out in front of Midge Purse. It's interesting to see how this Gotham side is set up. It almost looks like just a two-striker look with Kawasumi playing a little bit deeper. It's interesting to see how they have moved around. But Hugh Menzies did talk about, when a question was asked on our call this week, what formation are you running? He said, I don't really call it a formation because once the ball goes and everybody starts running around, but it's interesting to see how this team is sort of settling in this shape that they are in.
A little bit more of a free form shape, but that sometimes can work to your advantage too, because it allows players to rotate throughout. It makes it difficult for teams to scout you. It makes it difficult for teams to often defend you because players are constantly interchanging.
Lewis trying to catch Hadicic off her line. This one going just wide. You could almost see there, it looked like the two up front and that bank of four, so almost a 4-4-2 look.
And Kristen Lewis looking to chip Hadicic here, but she just doesn't get underneath the ball enough. And you could tell a minute that she hit it, she was a little bit disappointed that she didn't get the right contact on it.
Hadicic. Ahead for Simone Charlie. Carro's in the middle. Charlie cutting it in. Still weaving. Simone Charlie deflecting. Reccaro's there. Angel City adds a second for Carrie Reccaro. She continues her hot streak. It's now 4 goals in the last 5. And Angel City leads 2-0.
Really, really good footwork there from Simone Charlie inside the box for Gotham. She goes on an individual spell here after a nice through ball from Indo, picks the ball up again and just attacks on the dribble, goes inline and does a really good job to cut the ball back and beat almost 3 Gotham defenders, gets the shot, and the deflection is pretty fortunate there for Reccaro, but she's there following and it's just an easy tap in. Again, Betos, nothing she could do about it.
That's got to be pretty cool for Carrie Reccaro from East Islip, New York, back in her home area. But 4 goals over the last 5 games. Prior to these 5 games, had never scored in her NWSL career, and now is approaching Savannah McCaskill for the team lead.
It just shows that players, sometimes it takes the right support staff around them, being in the right environment, feeling comfortable where they are and where they're playing for them to truly shine.
Moved out wide for Smith. Up ahead for Anamanu, who is offside. Talk about efficiency now for Angel City. 3 shots on target, 2 goals.
It's a dream start for Angel City, exactly how they would want to come out and get this game going. Playing it in a very, very far away game for them. That's quite a big time difference. So a dream start for them, and just got to see if they can continue to hold on. Very disheartening though for Gotham. You got to imagine that that second goal deflated you even more. So I think if you're Gotham, you have to just start with the basics. Start small, start building possession from the back, building through the midfield, connect a few passes, do the little things to build up, to continue to push up the field, and then maybe get to halftime and make a few adjustments.
For Gotham, remember they had that sequence where they thought they scored, and then on the ensuing corner kick, somehow there's a corner kick, they hit the post. So a couple of great opportunities. This Purse comes forward again, looking for Mewis in the middle. Boney slides in and feeds Purse out wide again. Cuts it back. Midge Purse dancing on the ball. It's cleared away. Angel City getting enough bodies behind the ball.
just content with sitting back almost. Talked about them getting a lot of numbers behind the ball. They aren't keeping a whole lot of players high, but when they are transitioning, they're sending a lot of numbers forward and quickly, and that's what's allowing them to kind of catch those late runs, catch Gotham off guard on the back line.
There's Riley. Now Claire Emsley. Lofted right through the middle. Purse is there, and this one cleared away. Megan Reed coming back defensively. Heroic effort there, and Purse is nearly in.
Very good defending from Megan Reed. She timed that tackle beautifully, and she had to time it perfectly because I think Midge Purse is definitely capable of scoring from that angle, from that distance.
One of the two players for Angel City that still eligible for the Iron Woman in 2022. She played every minute. Here's Mewis, shot blocked down. Follow up by Dorsey is out of play. Remember, this Angel City side has another former Iron Woman in Sarah Gordon, but of course she's out for the season.
It's such an amazing feat to be able to say that she played every minute of every game. That's absolutely incredible and not easy to do, especially with the number of games that are in this season.
Games, the travel, the short turnarounds, all the variables. Ahead for Purse. Kawasumi. Cross to the back post. Hadachich at full stretch is able to bring that in.
Very good save from Hadachich there, and it had to be because either this one's going to bend in the back of the net or you've got two runners on the back post ready to head that one in. A nice ball in, though, from Kawasumi.
Good awareness also to, when she was going to ground, not to bring that too close to her. Otherwise, she would have been right on the line.
It's amazing how aware keepers are of their surroundings when it comes to that, because so many times they make these diving saves, and it's right on the line.
Now a shot, and this one's in! A curling effort from distance. That is a spectacular goal. Claire Emsley looks like she got it. And it's 3-0 to Angel City. The route is on.
What an incredible shot that was. Emsley just picks the ball up here off a pass from McCaskill. Nobody steps to her, gets her head up, recognizes that Betos is maybe off of her line ever so slightly and just bends that one into the upper corner to where Michelle Betos is never going to get to that one. You could see the frustration on Betos' face when she steps up, but what a finish from Emsley.
Just her second goal in an Angel City shirt. Remember, she scored that big goal against San Diego in the home game at Bank of California Stadium. This has really gotten out of hand. Even though Gotham have had so many opportunities, it's just Angel City has been the more clinical of the two teams.
The score line, I don't think, reflects what we've seen so far in these past 31 and a half minutes. The 31 and a half minutes, I think, have been mostly Gotham in their attack. They've had the ball and they're attacking in. They just haven't been sharp enough in the final third. And Angel City has just been on point. Almost every shot on target or in the back of the net.
It's 4 shots on target, and it's 3 into the back of the net. Just 1 shot on target for Gotham. They actually come into play with the least shots on goal per game, just over 3. There's another look at what we thought was the opening goal. Now remember, the whole ball has to go past the line, so maybe there was a sliver, but it's tight margins there.
It's tough to tell, and that's where that goal line technology would be a big benefit in this league. But it was a nice shot, and it looked like it crossed the line, but I'm still confused where the corner came from.
I think everybody.
I'm still trying to figure that one out.
Nielsen.
Angel City would be perfectly content with just moving the ball back and forth because they've got such a nice lead, and forcing Gotham to have to push up out of their shape so then they can look to break them down through passing through the middle, those penetrating balls to try to connect to their front players.
Here's Hemsley. Fresh off her second NWSL goal. Hemsley, who was acquired via the expansion draft after spending time across the pond with Everton most recently. Played in behind, it's Emsley again, who was in an offside position.
Gotham does a good job to hold their line there and force Emsley to be offsides. It was a really nice run from her, a diagonal run, and good awareness from McCaskill to be able to slip that one through. Just needs to time it a little bit better.
Just over 10 minutes to go until halftime. The goals came pretty quickly, all three of them in a 15-minute span, starting in the 16th minute with Savannah McCaskill, Carrie Riccaro in the 25th, Emsley in the 31st, and the only assisted goal was the final one. It was Emsley on the assist from Savannah McCaskill, who gets her second assist of this regular season. Going back to Carrie Riccaro for a minute, this has got to be cool for her being back in the New York area, albeit we are in New Jersey at the moment. But she was the New York Gatorade Player of the Year at East Islip High School on Long Island. And getting to score, I'm sure, in front of some friends and family here today's got to be a pretty cool feeling.
What a fun opportunity to be able to come back, be able to have, I'm guaranteed there's a ton of family and friends in the crowd, and then be able to score a goal. It's really special when you get to come home and play in front of people that love and support you and are extremely close to you.
And this will be the game's first yellow card. It looked like Mandy Freeman going into the book there.
Just a little bit of a late challenge, more of a professional foul just to slow Charlie down. Gets her with the body. It's definitely a foul. I don't know if she really needs to foul in this situation, but maybe a little bit of frustration.
Mandy Freeman has been a staple in that back line since Hugh Menzies has come in. Even before that, he's working back from injury, but sliding into center back right next to Estelle Johnson. Out wide for June Endo. Endo will keep this in play.
Very good defending, though, from Smith, forcing Endo to go out wide, not giving her the chance to get her head up and get that cross off, and forcing her to have to make not the effort she wanted to keep it in bounds, but very good defending from Smith.
This turned over again. It's Emsley. Dangerous on that left foot. Got caught in a tight spot there, and calls her Boney, wins it back for Gotham.
If you're Gotham, you got to find some sort of positive to take you into halftime, and playing the ball out of bounds is not going to be that. They have to see if they can get some sort of momentum to lead them into halftime on a little bit of a higher note so they can go in, regroup, and then come out in the second half with the same energy that they started the first half with.
Allie Riley. That did go out of play.
It's just barely out of play, but good combination play between those two on the wing to kind of build up that left side of the field for them.
When this game started, it sure didn't feel like this could turn into a rout like it has, but 3 very quick goals from Angel City have turned it on its head. We thought it'd be Gotham to 1, score the opener, and 2, potentially add on to it. Chances were few and far between for Angel City, but it really built into this game nicely. And have another opportunity here with Emsley. Already 1 goal. This one blocked down. Back out wide for Endo. Now Allie Riley. And Angel City content to be patient.
Freya Coombe did talk about how she's trying to get her team to be more creative in the final third, be a little bit more aggressive in the final third, and I think this is exactly the performance that they needed to have to get some more goals. They aren't the most high-scoring team, so to be able to have a performance like this in the first half is really encouraging for them moving forward when it comes to making the playoffs.
And they are putting themselves just below the line and maybe putting some pressure on Kansas City before they played tonight. This was nearly another one, though.
Again, McCaskill getting involved in almost every play. It's a good look, a nice ball through, just couldn't get on the end of it there was Charlie.
Freya Coombe said coming into play today, thought their team wasn't creating enough. They wanted to focus on scoring more and how they go about scoring those goals, and a lot of training this week was on the final third and finishing. Well, it seems like it has paid off.
Paying off for them. And that's what you want to see as a coach. You know, she's probably over there extremely thrilled about this performance, because what you work on in training, you want to reflect over into the game, and so many times there's just something that doesn't work out, but it seems to be exactly what they were working on in training has directly affected their performance tonight.
Well, they're coming off their lowest expected goals of the season at Kansas City, just .31. Gotham is the only team in the NWSL, though, with 2 games with fewer expected goals, so was not a very good night for Angel City last time out. They put that behind them, and as Freya Coombe said, they denied Kansas City 3 points, which is sometimes just as important as getting the 3 points, especially in that situation, as Betos comes up with the save on Tyler Lucy.
Especially with how tight the playoff and the top 6, 7 teams are really in the NWSL right now. When you can deny a team that's right around you some points, it's going to benefit you in the long run. You just have to make sure that when you have those games where you can pick points up, that you take full advantage of that.
And here's Charlie running in. Cross stabbed away. In the live standings, Angel City level on games played with Kansas City, and 1 point below them. That's before Kansas City plays tonight against North Carolina. Maybe we're starting to see some separation. Orlando have played 17 games. They're on 21 points. It seems like maybe them, North Carolina, will be 2 of the last teams to have a say. As Nielsen stepped in right in front of Anamanu. This stays in play, still not out. It's on that line. Dorsey.
Somehow still playing there.
Sequence.
Normally the ref would call a dangerous play or something there, but there wasn't enough contact or anything for it to be something, but a little surprising there again.
This game has had a lot of twists and turns in it.
Definitely keeping everyone on their toes.
Yeah, that is for sure. Angel City again. Simone Charlie weaving through. Trying to cut it back and find Recaro.
Gotham just needing to get a little bit more comfortable on the ball. They've started out strong, but it's faded a little bit, and Angel City's picked up some think Gotham needs to have a few more players moving off the ball, checking in, and then when they do get in the attack, they have to send more than just their 2 forwards to go up there and support. They want to lock Angel City into that defensive half like they were doing in the first chunk of the first half. They have to continue to commit numbers forward if they want to try to fight back into this one.
It's curious to see what the second half is going to look like as well, just based on how this first half has gone and lopsided scoreline at this point. Lewis lofting this forward.
Zerboni trying to push up and provide a little bit more support from a deeper midfield run. Oftentimes those players are able to sneak through without being marked because they're coming from a deeper position, and that's what happened there. Just couldn't really connect there on the end.
Freeman's been under heavy pressure today from Charlie and already on a yellow card. Manu. Out of play, corner kick upcoming.
Ali Riley doing a good job to step in there and win it off Anamanu. Anamanu just being very patient, and that was a very smart decision because she didn't have the numbers in the box, and instead of just wasting an opportunity and sending the ball in, she's patient on the ball and earns a corner kick.
Lewis will take it short for Kawasumi. The cross coming in. Options were there, including Freeman. Now it's Anamanu deflecting. Out of play, another corner kick.
Good look there from Anamanu there. She brings the ball out a little bit just to create a pocket of space and then has a nice look on goal.
Last few seconds. Mewis floating into the backside. It's headed back across. Angel City able to get this away.
Very nicely dealt with defensively by Angel City. A little bit risky going back across the goal like that, but it was a nice clearing header, so it was high enough to where no Gotham player could get on the end of it.
The first 45 minutes has come and gone, and this did not go according to plan for the home side.
Definitely not what they would want. Coming back at home, playing in front of the interim manager, playing in front of their home fans again, especially with the start that they had, with the energy they came out with the chances they were creating early on. You would not expect to be down 3-0, but you have to give a lot of credit, though, to Angel City. They came out here, they took care of business, and they put their chances away.
So halftime here from Red Bull Arena. Angel City lead by 3-0. Stay with us, the second half coming up. here at Red Bull Arena, building up to the second 45 minutes of action. It's all Angel City on this Sunday evening from Harrison, New Jersey. 3-0. And when we look at the first half stats, it was Angel City just being very efficient with their opportunities. And they've been able to find 3 goals all within a 15-minute span. This is what it looks like. The shots are even, the shots on goals, that's where there's the difference.
That's the big difference, and that's the storyline right there. Angel City just doing a wonderful job executing on those opportunities. Gotham, on the other hand, have not been able to really get many of those shots the way that they would want to have executed them. But possession-wise, I think Gotham definitely has had the better possession. They've had the more corner kicks, as you can see, but it just comes down to execution, and that's the difference in this game.
It was Angel City getting started in the 16th minute from Savannah McCaskill. Carrie Riccaro getting her 4th goal in the last 5 games. That was in the 25th minute. Then in the 31st, it was Claire Emsley from Savannah McCaskill. So the team starting to make their way out here for the second 45 minutes, and you're trying to figure this out at halftime, but if you're Gotham, where do you go from here?
It's tough because you really have 2 clear directions. You either just say, we've got nothing to lose, and we continue to push numbers forward, and we try to put in maybe a few more attacking players to get some goals. That's going to expose you in the back, though, and open you up to getting scored on more. Or you say, we can't concede any more goals. We need to lock it in a little bit more and solidify that back line. So it's going to be a tough decision, a really telling decision on what their vision is going to be for the rest of the season. But if you're Angel City, I think you keep the foot on the gas and you keep going, because goal differential could become a factor down the line when it comes to playoffs and seeding and where you're going to be. And so they have to continue to press and push forward. So Gotham faced with a massive, massive task ahead of them to either fight back in this one or hold off the excruciating attack of Angel City.
Yeah, they have been just very, very efficient in this game. And it's interesting when you look at the playoff picture in the live standings, it's Angel City 1 less point than Kansas City, even on games played. And it's interesting when we look at the amount of wins. They both have the same amount of wins at this point. Angel City scored a couple of less goals, so if they can add on here, that would help. They already have the advantage in goal difference. So margins, as you say, very, very thin going down the stretch of this season, and just about 6 games to go for Angel City after this one today.
Well, you have to take care of business on your end. Yes, a lot of things can happen. Other teams can drop points here and there, but you have to make sure that when you have the opportunity to take care of business, you're doing that. And right now, Angel City has the opportunity to go up even more. They have the opportunity to take care of business here, not allow Gotham to even get any more shots, any goals, and to score some more. So they have to make sure that they are focusing on themselves, they are focusing on their vision and what they want to accomplish, and that's going to be putting more away so they can push their goal differential up even further and really separate themselves.
For Angel City, this is the second of 5 straight on the road. Their next 3 games, Houston, North Carolina, and San Diego before they return home for Washington there in just a few weeks on the 21st. And they have a couple of midweek fixtures, 2 straight actually, 2 straight weeks with midweek fixtures coming up. And it does look like there is at least 1 substitution with Paige Monahan coming on. We'll see if there are any others in this half for Gotham as we get started.
Looks like she's replacing Midge Purse there up top, so subbing out one of the players that was really generating a lot of offense for you. Hopefully Monahan can come in and have an immediate impact in this one.
As we said, curious to see what this second half looks like. There's the whistle, and away we go. 45 more minutes. See whether the next goal can come from the home side. They've looked dangerous at times, or whether it will be Angel City to add on to this 3-0 advantage. And already this is turning out to be one of their biggest results in club history. They've only scored 3 goals on a couple of occasions, one time against Racing Louisville. That's actually the only time they've scored 3 goals previous. So the second time that they have scored at least 3 goals. They've never scored more than that.
We did see that there was some special faces there for them at this match, so maybe they're trying to put on a good show for some of the owners that have come to support them during this match in New York.
Natalie Portman and Julie Ehrman, and they were, along with Alexis Ohanian, was probably in town to support his wife Tamara at the U.S. Open tennis, which gets started not too far from here. This little trip to see your team and also watch your wife play.
Little sports trip there. Great opportunity though, and Angel City's putting on a show for them.
We also saw Eli Manning for Gotham, who is in attendance today. He recently bought into the ownership group. Also with Sue Bird in the last few weeks. This Gotham side did make a few personnel changes during the week and additions to the team, bringing in Victoria Pickett, who is on the bench today, drove 19 hours from Kansas City when she found out she was traded, and is on the bench here today. And the other one is Bruninha, who is still with the Brazil under-20s and at the under-20 Women's World Cup that is taking place in Costa Rica and finishing up here today. Both of those players for the foreseeable future and just trying to build for the rest of this season and into next as well. It's played to behind. It's Smith running in. Taylor Smith tries to cut it across. Takes it back for Zerboni, who brings it infield.
Love that Gotham's continuing to fight, continue to get numbers forward. Smith getting involved still in that attack. I love having her on that outside back position because she's been critical in getting forward and really helping to generate more on that right side.
And now a corner kick coming for Gotham. Decent start now to this second half.
They've had several corner kicks already and haven't been able to really execute on it the way they want. They had a few half chances on it, but they need to have one clean, solid look on frame.
Lewis serves it in, flicked along. Johnson puts this out of play. There's no doubt the 3 moments in which they conceded, not the brightest moments for Gotham, but when you look at the first half as a whole, I don't think they played poorly, but it's just, it got away from them in those 3 moments.
Not at all. They did not play bad soccer whatsoever, but those 3 opportunities that Angel City had were 3 incredible finishes, and one was a fortunate bounce too that fell right to Recaro there, and she was able just to tap it in. So it was 3 solid goals for Angel City. I don't think it was a reflection on how Gotham played. I think they did well. I like that they're coming on and pressing a little higher. I think that's something that they dropped off in the first half, and that's making it difficult for Angel City to play out of the back right now.
Well, that's something that Hugh Menzies said when he was coming in that was probably going to change, and he felt like there was maybe too many long balls over the top. They weren't playing through the midfield enough under the prior regime, and now when he's come in, he says he wants to play through the midfield, he wants to press, he thinks that's how the skill set of many of these players is best utilized, and of course it will be some growing pains, and I'm definitely seeing that.
Well, that's how the game's developed. Previously, the game was more of a long ball style where you had a true target forward that would hold the ball up, and then you played off of that player. But now that the players have been developing more, the skill level is so much higher, you see more teams looking to play a better possession style soccer. And Gotham has some extremely talented midfielders that they need to utilize, and that's going to benefit them in building up. It's going to help move that back line, create more pockets of space, and generate stronger attacks.
There's Monahan just trying to keep the ball. Way back with Mandy Freeman. Did go out of play.
right idea to change the point of attack there and try to find Dorsey. Just has to be a little bit cleaner in their possession. That's a tough ball to play out wide. You kind of drove it to her, and so it's difficult for her to settle it. Have to understand the weight of the passes that you're going to play.
Johnson, Monty Dorsey, Kawasumi, Mewis right back for Kawasumi, cross coming in, Mewis settles, it's blocked down, still in there, Monahan, this one's over the line. There's one back for Gotham, Paige Monahan, her third goal this season, and maybe there is a response in this second half coming.
Paige Monahan coming on, having an immediate impact. I love this combination play, though, between Mewis and Kawasumi. A good ball in. Mewis arguing for a handball here, but they just continue to fight. Monahan just continues to fight here. She sticks with it, and she gets a fortunate bounce and just tucks that one right in between Nielsen and Riley there. And then the awareness to go and pick the ball up to get this game back going, not waste any time. Gotham coming out, trying to mean business here in the second half.
She was the only halftime sub.
I'm
sure she feels like she can come on and try to impact the game. She's featured in every game so far this season for Gotham, and now gets her third goal of the year.
Well, oftentimes when you're sitting as a sub, you're able to see the game in a completely different perspective than the players on the field. So you're able to take note of maybe where those pockets of space are, maybe the changes that need to be made, and that's exactly what Monahan has come out and done right away.
Allie Riley went down over there on the far side. She thought she was fouled. Be another opportunity here for Gotham in the attacking third, but flag is up for offside. Smith threw it in and didn't get back on.
Got to be a little bit more aware there of where you are in the field, your positioning, because now you're turning over the ball. You're allowing Angel City to take their time on the restart, to push out of the back when your team has done such a good job of locking them in to their defensive half, your offensive half so far. So just a little bit more awareness.
Now if you're Angel City, I'm sure you just need to collect yourself, slow things down, still have a 2-goal advantage. No clean sheet today. Remember, when Gotham has conceded the first goal this year, they've done it 10 times, they've lost all 10. So I guess this being the 11th time that they have done it. They've not gotten any points when they have conceded that first goal. Maybe they can find a couple more goals here and get that first point, get a result, end this 6-game losing streak. Still a long way back.
It's not going to be an easy task, but they have done really well. They've generated several chances. They've created opportunities. They had 9 shots in the first half. Yes, only 1 was on target, but it's not like the chances aren't there. It's not like they aren't seeing the ball. They aren't creating. They are. Now it just comes down to being a little bit sharper on those crosses, on that final touch, and really making sure that you're focusing on the little details so you can execute properly.
Kawasumi wins it back and finds Anamanu. Tries to cut it back. Smith, crossfield ball, and headed clear by Lucy. Looking for options here is Amani Dorsey. Really nowhere to go with the ball.
So many of Gotham players have pushed up, and Charlie did a good job of rolling over onto Freeman there and not allowing that back pass option. It also makes it then difficult to play it back to Betos because Charlie could intercept it there. So really nice defensive attacking play from Charlie.
There's Anamanu. We said this goes out for a corner that some of the bounces weren't necessarily going Gotham's way in the first half. Maybe things might start to bounce their way in this second half as they have in these opening 10 minutes.
Yeah, definitely got a fortunate deflection there, just as Angel City did, though, in the first half. So hopefully on these corner kicks, they can get a few of the balls to bounce in their way, maybe fall right on the player that they want them to. But you just have to continue to work hard for that to happen for you.
Mues sends this in to the backside. An easy catch for Hadicic.
Decent service, but there's nobody there. So Mues has to either pull that out a little bit, or they have to rework the runs that they're going to be making in the box, because it's kind of a wasted opportunity. And again, gives Angel City the opportunity to push out of the back and generate a little bit of possession.
Caskill, who's had a bright first half. Angel City is trying to get things going here in this second half. Haven't really had much of the ball or anything upfield. Maybe they can change that with Emsley. Endo lets this run through. Long run for Ali Riley. Smith gets there first, absorbs contact, and earns a free kick.
Again, smart by Smith. She did it again in the first half, and now here she beats the player to the ball and then positions her body perfectly in between the ball and that player, forcing the contact to come. And again, the ref's always going to call that when it's a push from behind. So very smart from Smith.
This game, the second of 4 straight quote-unquote home games, but the first of 3 straight here at Red Bull Arena. Up next for Gotham will be North Carolina, and then Kansas City will come to town. I think luckily for Gotham and Hugh Menzies especially, no more long trips. Only Washington and North Carolina, their remaining road trips so far this season.
I think this home spell is going to be very good for them to kind of figure out their identity for the rest of the season. They're going to be able to continue to stay home, stay in their comfort zone, and develop the new style that they're going to end up playing for the rest of the season.
All the way to the end line, out of play. Look like substitute is getting ready. It looks like Victoria Pickett is preparing to make her Gotham debut.
I think if you're Gotham, you have to keep the legs out there fresh so you can continue to play the high press style of soccer that they want to play, so they can fight their way back into this one.
Caskill chasing this down. Emsley. Emsley gets it back. The cross deflecting and taken by Betos.
I like how Emsley is kind of sitting off of the back line ever so slightly. Charlie's sitting higher and Emsley's in that pocket of space and really just moving freely. That's allowing her and McCaskill to link up really nicely, and that's how she got her goal in the first half.
This is out for a corner kick.
And you got to think that one of these corner kicks is going to fall their way. They've had so many, they've come so close. One of them is bound to meet the head of one of the players in the middle.
It's put into the mixer. Plenty of bodies around there. Kawasumi. Dorsey takes this and just looped towards Hadicic, who's able to claim it.
Very well defended by Angel City. It was a lot of bodies in and around that 6-yard box, but they did a good job of holding their ground and getting to it first. Even on that second chance opportunity, did not allow a clean look, so very nicely defended from Angel City.
Lucy back for Hadicic. Touched into the path of Weatherholt, and up ahead for Simone Charlie. Simone Charlie cuts it back. Charlie! Freeman slides in. Corner kick, Angel City.
What a last-ditch effort there from Freeman. Charlie showing again those cut moves that have been so crucial for her. She does a good job to get on the end of it. Fakes the cut here, has a go at it, but Freeman making the last-ditch sliding effort. And I think if she doesn't do it, if it slips through the back post, one of the Angel City players is going to be there for an easy tap-in.
Junendo. Emsley didn't hit that one as clean as she did on the one she scored.
Looked to go for the spectacular again on that shot, just didn't get the right contact.
And here is the substitution. Victoria Pickett coming onto the field and replacing Ifeanyi Manu, recently acquired this week from the Kansas City Current. Pickett is on, Anumanu is off.
Great opportunity for Pickett to come on and have an immediate impact for Gotham. Anumanu, I think, had a very good game. She had some really good opportunities, did really well getting down that right side and finding some crosses, just couldn't find the luck in front of goal.
Hugh Menzies is really complimentary of Victoria Pickett this week, saying she got in her car, she drove here, she had to move everything out to this New York, New Jersey area. It's about a 15 and 19-hour drive. She got here and she was ready to get right into training and right into game action, and it's exactly where she is. She'll face her former team in just a couple of weeks.
That's absolutely crazy that she drove that entire way. That's not an easy drive to do, and then by herself, but that shows how much she wants this and how much she wants to be out there. She wants to be competing on the pitch, and so you gotta imagine that the drive and the heart that she has is going to be contagious out there, coming on as a sub, being able to lift the energy, see if they can continue to claw their way.
Switch the point of attack. Lucy steps up. Charlie. Dorsey stepped in.
Angel City not able to find as much of a rhythm in the second half as they were in the first half. I think that's due to the high press of Gotham, and Gotham looking to play a little bit more out of the back. They look a little more comfortable in their possession out of the back.
Kawasumi, this one coming in. Stabbed clear. Dorsey went down. He said it was 50-50 and plays on. Here's Pickett. Oh, nearly slid it through for Monahan.
Good vision on the ball from Pickett, and I love the movement of Monahan there, coming out wide and cutting inside. Those little runs in behind are going to be a really solid way to break down the back line.
Here's Pickett. Now for Kawasumi. Monahan couldn't get there. Hadicic claims it.
Right idea, right ball. Just needs to be about 5 yards deeper for that one to really be successful and make it through. But this movement up top from Gotham is allowing them to break down that back line and really be able to pick apart the seams. Gotham looking to build through the midfield. I think there should be a little bit more movement. A few times the players are standing waiting, but they're doing a much better job of finding those options in the middle of the field, and that's allowing them to be able to push more numbers forward and move forward cleanly.
Kawasumi for Mewis.
I think Mewis just trying to take a few too many touches there. Yes, sometimes you want to set up a little bit cleaner shot. I think that was actually Zerboni there. Yes, you want to have a clean shot, but sometimes you just have to go for it.
I just realized this doesn't come along too often, but this is the second straight game in which Angel City has faced Victoria Pickett.
I guess that is true because she just switched over. So
their last game was Kansas City.
Nothing like playing a team back to back.
As McCaskill comes forward, this is over the bar. Out of play.
And it's a good run forward from McCaskill. Again, Angel City just has not been able to really generate as much offense as they did in the first half. It's a good individual effort. She just gets underneath the ball a little bit too much. I think needed to drive through with her laces to maybe have a better go on frame.
There's Dorsey trying to fend off Emsley. Floated out wide. It's Smith.
And while their formation is a little bit more fluid, Pickett coming on has allowed her to drop kind of into more of a quote-unquote 10 position in attacking mid, and it's pushed Christy Mewis a little bit higher. Mewis is able to then make a few more runs off the ball and try to get in behind.
Dorsey. Cross comes in. The heads go up. Player down for Angel City as play continues on. And the referee says play needs to be stopped as there is a head injury.
I was surprised at first that he didn't stop because it did look like it was a head injury, and you are supposed to stop the game as soon as that happens, and that's for the safety of the players. It looks like as she was trying to head the ball, just clipped the back of her head ever so slightly. Frustrating for Gotham, though, because you're in your attack, you're moving forward, but it is the right decision to try to protect the safety of the players.
Chance for a quick team talk from Freya Coombe. I always say it in 2-goal games, but the next goal is so important, and especially in this one, just based on how it's played out, with Gotham losing all that confidence potentially as we look at some of the dignitaries on hand. There is Natalie Portman. There's Eli Manning on the right, Julie Ehrman there in the foreground, and Jessica Berman and Alexis Ohanian. Everybody's in attendance today, all the big wigs.
Super cool, great photo opportunity, and what a fun game for them to come to, because like you were just saying, it is so important what goal happens next, because right now Angel City's still comfortable. You know, that they still have a 2-goal lead. They're sitting nice. But if Gotham scores, they're going to start to panic a little bit, and the momentum completely shifts towards Gotham. But you got to think that if Angel City puts one away, that's got to be the, you know, the final dagger for Gotham.
Gotham has had some good opportunities. Probably fair to say they've had the better opportunities in this second half overall.
They've had the better opportunities, I think the better spell of possession and the better energy out there. They look like the team that's more competitive, looking to continue to push forward. Angel City just kind of frantically defending, hoping to fend off Gotham.
Much higher expected goals in this second half as well for Gotham, 0.65 to 0.22 for Angel City. Just those 3 shots, none of them finding the frame, which you go back to the first half where it was 9 shots and 5 of them were on frame for Angel City. And they were efficient with their goal scoring. It's been a bit of a different way of playing in this second half as Smith tries to get the cross away, is blocked down, and the expected goals for Gotham overall are now higher than Angel City, even though they put 3 up.
And you got to expect this is the way that Gotham was expecting that first half to go. This is the energy to start it with. this is the way that they wanted the game to go. But Angel City just was able to slip in a few goals off the run of play.
Will be Ellie Jean coming onto the field for Gotham, replacing Amani Dorsey. Like for like change at outside back as Mewis comes in. Just over the bar. Great opportunity for Gotham to find a second. They'll continue that search.
Kristen Mewis showing off a little bit of skill there, having a nice rip, just barely missed the target there, skimmed over the bar there. I think if she was able just to keep it down a little bit, that one might have found the back of the net with the amount of power and the placement that she had on that shot.
Didi Hadicic has been tough to beat today. Just the once, there's a bit of a scramble in the box. Yeah, I believe a yellow card given there to Didi Hadicic.
Little early on in the game for starting to kill off the clock a bit. Good recognition from the referee though, but now she has to really be careful because as this game goes on, she's going to want to kill even more time off the clock, and sitting on a yellow, that's not the safest thing to do for her.
And recently signed and now on the bench, Almut Schult, the German international, has been with Wolfsburg since 2013. Her first season in the USA was just signed a few weeks ago. As the backup goalkeeper here for Angel City.
Hadicic, one of those players that has played every single minute so far too, so you would hate to have to lose her in a game like this.
Well, that was going to be the same thing for Caprice Didasco. She had played in 54 straight games for Gotham. It was a regular season record for Gotham, and then she was traded, but she was also sitting on yellow card suspension, so that could have ended her streak if she would have picked up one more yellow card for Gotham, but that goes by the wayside now with her moving on to Houston.
Pressure from Gotham in the second half has really shaken things up for Angel City. They haven't been able to have as clean of possession. They haven't been able to connect through the middle of the field, and that's forcing them to have to either look big or go around the sides, and they haven't had as much success with that so far in this half.
There's Pickett. See how clean she is in the midfield. Mewis to get into a more advanced position as well, but here's Krieger.
We haven't really said her name much, but often in that position, that defensive mid position, you don't want to say that player's name a whole lot. They do so much off the ball to shield it in, to drop in, to fill spaces, that if you're saying their name a lot, then maybe they're out of position or maybe the other team isn't being as successful. And so she's done a really good job of shielding the back line, providing support for her teammates, and really just being in the right position at the right time.
That's a set piece here for Gotham. Mewis taking a drive that does not test Didi Hadicic.
Wondering if she was looking for a deflection there on that look to try to either earn a corner kick or get it to deflect on frame or something. It's a very, very far out look to have a shot on goal.
Now it's Jasmine Spencer coming on to replace June Endo for defensive-minded substitution, even though Jasmine Spencer, of course, does have experience in her career playing higher up the field, but it's June Endo coming off.
I think a smart decision, maybe put in a little more defensive-minded, because Endo was doing such a good job of staying high and pushing up the field. By bringing in a more of a defensive-minded person, they're usually going to tend to sit back a little bit more, and that's going to help solidify that defensive mid area where Gotham has been able to pick the ball up and really connect through, and a lot of that's due to Pickett coming in.
Ellie Jean. They get right around Spencer. Showing those fresh legs. Now Jean puts this in the middle. Mewis was up for it. Just enough of a bump, though, to put her off and out for another goal kick.
And Ellie Jean showing off some really nice footwork there, cutting the ball back. It was a nice service in, and I think Mewis made a really solid effort to it, but it was just that slight bit of contact that knocked her off of her base a little bit and didn't allow her to get on the end of it.
Ellie Jean, and she was losing that out of play. And go back to Angel City into the final 15 minutes. Angel City trying to move their unbeaten run down to 4 games. They've only lost 1 over their last 6. While Gotham is trying to avoid defeat for 7th straight time. This has been I would say at least, an encouraging performance from Gotham, albeit they still trail by 3-1.
Yeah, I think in this type of performance, if the result stays the way that it is, which is the way Gotham's playing, really they could get more. I think you gotta be pleased with how they've played so far, the way they're linking up passes, the way they're creating chances, the way they've really been dominating the majority of this entire game. It was a few little slip-ups that led to the goals for Angel City, and those are areas that they can now focus on in training, cleaning up, and really solidifying a little bit better. But overall, you have to be pleased with how they're playing. They're playing a nice style of soccer.
I'm just looking for the results to follow.
But results will come.
Yes.
You have to get the basics down, and once you're able to get that, the results will start to come. And I think that's what they have to focus on, is look at what they did well in the games instead of maybe looking at score lines.
It's interesting, even speaking with some other coaches around the league, and recently with Rian Wilkinson ahead of Portland's game with North Carolina, she said, because they had an 11-game unbeaten run that is now turned into 2 straight losses, but during that run, she said, we had some games which the performances were not very good. We still came away with 3 points. So sometimes good performance doesn't equal good result, and vice versa. So.
Right. Just because you play well doesn't mean you should win the game, and just because you play poorly doesn't mean you should lose the game. That's the beauty of soccer.
Yep.
You know, you can control the entire game. You can have all of the chances, but not put the ball away, and the other team gets one look and they score. And you know, so I think you have to sometimes look at the performance as a whole and dissect it that way.
As Monahan makes the run, it's Hadicic off her line to claim it again for Angel City.
I like the little look to go direct there. They've been playing through the midfield quite a bit, and so by varying the service there and looking to go over top instead of playing through the middle, you're forcing Angel City to have to second guess. Do they step in the middle? Do they leave that player open? And they're going to have to adjust to how you're making your decisions, and that's going to open up a few other options for you on the ball.
This just stays in play. Caskill for Spencer. Jasmine Spencer, it's saved. Betos kept it out, but puts it out for a corner kick.
Good look at that near post by Spencer. I think Betos has to do better with this here. She does a good job pushing it away, but Spencer showing off a little bit of skill here, picks the ball up, has a touch outside, sets herself up beautifully, and Betos realizes that she really should have held on to that one, because now she's just given up a corner kick.
Corner kick of the game for Angel City. This is headed out of harm's way. Zerboni will get there. Spencer was coming in as well. Here's Taylor Smith. And out for a throw-in. 10 minutes to go here from Red Bull Arena.
What an effort from Zerboni there, making the sliding save to keep that ball and send it forward. Smith doing a good job of collecting it and then earning the throw in there instead of turning over possession.
comes in. It's too tall for Mewis. Go for handball. Referee says no. Smith clips it in. Chance for Kawasumi. Can't get much power behind it based on that sort of effort.
It's a really tough look there for Kawasumi. A good ball in, but a little bit behind her. So she's having to reach back and flick the ball back forward. It's a tough shot to have, and you're usually not going to be able to get power on it, so you have to go more for luck on that kind of play.
Went down. A whistle. Play will be stopped here. Looks like another sub coming. That looks like it's the end of the day for McCall Zerboni. Big shift put in by the captain. It will be Nicole Baxter to come on.
This is the final substitution for Gotham in this match, so if this game progresses and a player is to go down injured, they would have to go a player down. So interesting choice for just subbing 4 players when you do have 5 substitutes.
Now another player down for Gotham. Interesting as you say that.
Right, because the only way that you can get an additional substitute is if it is a head injury, and that is the new rule for the concussion protocol. Looks like just maybe some tight muscles, but again, if they cannot continue, they go a man down. So it's a tough balance here for Gotham. She really has to make sure she's okay and can stay in the match.
Smith, no doubt feeling the effects of this hot day. She's put in a big shift.
She's been back and forth on that right side. Would love to see how much she has run in this match. A lot of these players run 6-7 miles a game depending on where they're playing, and she definitely is approaching that.
Some electrolytes there. This play is back underway. And long over the top. Monahan's there. Monahan over the bar. A chance for a brace in this second half. And also a chance to make this just a 1-goal game.
Paige Monahan has just been all over the place. This is great vision on the ball from Freeman. A perfectly placed ball. It's got that backspin on it, so when it bounces, it's going to die a little bit. Monahan just getting underneath it a little bit too much. It's a really close angle, so it's a tough shot to have to get it up and over the keeper and drop in. But Gotham, man, you got to imagine another one could be coming for them.
And the expected goals well in favor now of Gotham. Shots as well. And now can they just find something to hit the back of the net for a second time? Mewis ahead for Monahan. Paige Monahan puts this back across, and Mewis couldn't get on the end of it.
I love that service, though, because it's such a tricky ball to play. That low ball in between the back line and the goalkeeper, so difficult to defend. Mewis just a step behind.
There's Ellie Jean, blocked down.
What a response from Gotham in this second half. You go down 3 goals. It's so easy to just kind of give up, park the bus, sit in deep, not really look to go forward, because that's a big hill to climb. But they have come out. They've played really good soccer. They've been creating chances and really have put Angel City on their heels in this half.
Mewis stands over this again. Remember, a couple weeks back against Houston, they also scored from a set piece late on. They find a similar service here. Mewis curls this in. The heads go up, and the header was on target by Krieger, but taken in by Hadicic. Gotham continues to knock on the door for a second.
A very nice header there from Allie Krieger. She gets all the basics right, all the fundamentals right, just couldn't get it around on the placement from Hadicic there. She takes a good run. It's a nice play, but an easy grab.
19 shots in this game for Gotham, 1.6 expected goals. Makes you feel like they're due for a second. And here's Ellie Jean as they continue to push late on. Kawasumi got it caught in her feet, and it's cleared away.
It was almost as if she had the ball and she didn't know what exactly she wanted to do. Should she turn? Should she lay it off? And that's just where the decision making has to come a little bit quicker.
Baxter, this one blocked down, spinning towards the end line. And it will be a corner kick, and Mewis will go over to take it.
It was a valiant effort to try to clear it over the sideline for a throw-in, but just the spin on the ball pushed it over the end line.
That's Recaro who is staying down.
Technically, she is off the field, so play could continue on, but it is a good sportsmanship to kind of check in and see if the player is okay before continuing on.
She's back on her feet, just needed a moment.
Gotham fans not too happy that they weren't allowed to take the corner kick quickly.
Christy Mewis, the in-swinger. Out of the way by Riley. Missed the second clearance, so puts it out for another corner.
Good near post clearance from Riley, and it had to be, because if that one slipped past, there's about 3 Gotham attacking players right there ready to tap that one in.
Mewis again to the backside, and this time Charlie just getting something on it. Otherwise, Krieger was waiting for a free header.
So Krieger was wide open there, and you saw how well she did on that last header that she had. You got to imagine if she gets a look at that, that's going in. But really good defending from Angel City here.
Now it's Nicole Baxter trying to bounce that one in. Only Jean keeps it alive. Jean, driven ball in. Headed away, now Pickett. Ball looking for Kawasumi will run out of play as we'll get into the 90th minute now from Red Bull Arena. And 2 subs coming on. Madison Hammond, Clarice Laban.
Your attention please. Angel City FC substitution.
Trying to bring on some fresh legs there for the last little spell, the last push for Angel City. You gotta imagine that these players are fatigued. It's hot out there. They've been playing a lot of minutes, and then to have to be defending for so long, that is exhausting.
Looks like Tyler Lucy is one of those players to come off. And Carrie Recaro will be the second. Goal scorer once again, Carrie Recaro today, her 4th in 5 games. Remember, prior to this stretch, had never scored in the NWSL. Four minutes of stoppage time. Look through again. Hadicic takes this. Remember, she's on a yellow card.
If you're Angel City, you're thinking, just got to survive 4 more minutes of this relentless attack from Gotham. And Gotham, a little bit of pressure starting to put on you. starting to begin to get a little frustrated, but you cannot let that frustration seep in. You have to continue to keep your eye on the prize and see if you can finally put away one of these many chances you've been creating.
Gotham has lost 7 games this year by more than 1 goal. Leads the NWSL. Charlie. Baxter put in a challenge and got it just right.
Beautiful slide tackle there from Baxter. That is perfectly textbook there, and she had to be. She timed it very well to make sure that she got all ball on that challenge.
Right through the middle. Hadicic just gets there ahead of Monahan, and Hadicic may have had her hand stepped on.
It's really good goalkeeping, though, from Hadicic here to come out and get this one. It can be so easy sometimes to let your defender handle it, but when you have Monahan running in the way that she is, you have to come out and make yourself big, and it's a risky play, and she does a good job to come out and gather that one.
Does look like it's going to be too little too late here from Gotham. They can carry what they put together in this second half into the remainder of their season, be able to play spoiler to a couple teams down the stretch.
You gotta imagine that if they continue to grow the way that they have in just this 1 week and be able to continue to implement the way that they want to play, they're gonna see some more success. They've had wonderful opportunities. Now it's just coming down to execution and taking care of that final piece.
There's Jasmine Spencer. International break coming up for most of the league, but there will be 1 game next Sunday right here. Gotham will host the North Carolina Courage, another makeup game. It's from the COVID cancellation earlier this year. Next game up for Angel City will be all the way on September 11th as they travel to the Houston Dash. Last few seconds here from Red Bull Arena. Here's Ellie Jean. Cross blocked down, out for a corner. This will probably be the last action this evening.
You gotta imagine this will be the last play, but Gotham fighting till the very end. Allie Jean does a good job to bring the ball down, but she tries to shoot the ball across the goal frame. Instead, she needed to shoot towards the near post.
Mewis. Let's go up. This loops out of play. That's the final action. Full time from Red Bull Arena. It's 3 goals and 3 points away from home for Angel City, and for Gotham, a 7th straight loss.
I think Gotham, there's more positives to take away from this game than negatives. I think you've got to focus on everything that you did well and continue to grow on that in your next games to come, because they did put forth a solid performance. Angel City needs to really focus on that first half, getting those 3 goals off of really limited opportunities. That's exactly what they needed to do, was execute in the final third. Second half, maybe see why they weren't able to break down Gotham, how they can continue to work on their possession and generating chances against teams who apply high pressure.
So that'll do it for our coverage this evening from Red Bull Arena. It's Gotham who will go back to the drawing board and look for something